Well, they don't see it as a threat right now, but maybe it is going to be their fourth ban. Welcome to the ban and pick phase. Gods joining us here. And how's it going, and what do you make of the bans and picks so far for both teams?
I think the Alchemist has been the big pick that's suddenly a first two pick for NewBee. Vici Gaming happy to run it themselves as well from time to time, and that really has just kind of come out of nowhere and been. I think the fact it's a first two pick is partly because it's versatile. We saw Zhao it in the off lane. The teams also will run it mid, teams will run it as a support, and that's where it doesn't really reveal too much about your draft when you're picking it up early, which is probably one of the hero's strengths. But for me, I think Venomancer is definitely going to be a hot pick coming into the second pick stage if it's not banged out.
Yeah, they should definitely ban the Venomancer, in my opinion.
Unless they want to pick it, they may just be picking it themselves.
Yeah, because they have the pick after the ban. Yeah. So that's something huge. We don't talk about it too much, but when you're the second phase and you're going to pick the first, when you're not first pick, it's when you're second pick. It's huge. The second phase is so important for the second pick because you get to deny 3 heroes. You get to ban 2 and get the third one. It's really huge. So that's why sometimes when you're first pick, you don't want to reveal too much to your opponent of your strategy. Rasta, Alchemist, as you said, not for Rasta, but Alchemist can go anywhere. So they don't want to reveal too much because Vici can actually shut them down really hard if they're going to deny 3 heroes from NewBee. So.
And Vici is taking a long time to decide this ban. He's like, well, do we really want to give away the Brewmaster? Are we okay with taking it ourselves? I mean, the way it looks right now with the Venomancer and the Nature's Prophet, yeah, they decide to ban it, get away from it, get to the Ancient Apparition. And again, a lot of global potential with the AA and the Nature's Prophet. And this time the Venomancer, the pick that NewBee denied them in the 5th pick in the game 1, is actually going to create a lot of pressure for NewBee.
It also opens up if they want to go for that Sylar Morphling and put rOtK again on the Prophet, it's a lot safer picking a Morphling when you know your opponents aren't going to have the Ancient Apparition. Ancient Apparition, Shadow Shaman, really strong support duo.
That's a really good pick for NewBee. It's actually awesome with the Alchemist. Puck with Alchemist is really strong. The Alchemist support, whenever he comes to Puck's lane to mid, then that's a kill. If Puck is going to be mid, obviously we saw Chao 8 use that Puck on the off lane already, but it's also incredibly good versus AA Venomancer. Just jump, silence them, and burst them down before they get any spell off. So great pickup for NewBee here.
Yeah. The way Vici Gaming normally run the Veno is like as a core though. So if rOtK gets the fast make tanks up, I don't think he's going to get burst down by a Puck alone without much, unless there's a lot of follow-up. So,
but what certainly will be interesting is who's going to match up versus Puck in the mid lane, because that can somewhat decide, how good of a game that Puck
They've
will
also
get.
run the off-lane Puck.
Yeah.
So Zhao
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Zhao.
Against this very team, there was that Puck versus Duke matchup 1v1.
You're right.
So.
And it's Rubick AA, and
I love those drafts.
We saw this support duo yesterday, and I think it was DK playing it, or EG, one of the teams that lost to Vici Gaming and didn't actually create much of an impact. But this time it's Vici Gaming taking these two. And granted, if you get a good call feed into TK, it's going to be a lot of time of stuns. And while Nature's Prophet and Venomancer by themselves do not provide a lot of right click, even in any of those lanes, just because you have the Sprout or because you have the Gale, you can secure a kill. These two supports are going to do a lot of roaming, and we see Fenrir and FY can bring us what they always bring, which is amazing plays.
Vici Gaming's laning phase is just like the strongest you could ever pick. Like I can't think of 4, any 4 picks. Like it's harder to make the laning stage better from here.
They're gonna have a very good laning phase for sure, unless NewBee go for the really big plays, but that's a classic Vici Gaming game. They're gonna win the lanes and go for early push, and it's gonna be really hard, and it's all gonna come down to their spell usage and execution, because they have very squishy heroes. If you want to push with that, it's not the the DK Abaddon EG style of push that we saw. You can position however you want because you have really good defensive spells here. If the Rubick's out of position, if the A is out of position, they're gonna die instantly. They don't have much versus the Weaver, but I don't think the Weaver is actually a really good pick here for NewBee because of how early Vici Gaming is going to be looking to push. The Weaver is going to be very squishy early on, and she's going to get, burst down really fast. I could see a DK pick for Vici Gaming here. I think it's a really good hero for them right now.
Whatever they get for Super, I think it's something like DK, something that's tanking the mid lane, can be on the front lines for the push, because that's kind of the one thing they're lacking. They don't have Serpent Wards which they can drop down. It's just the treants. They need really something to soak up a lot of damage from the mid lane. Brewmaster taken out, DK still there.
Yeah, DK is really obvious. I think NewBee's going to ban the DK most likely. It's really the obvious pick here for Vici.
So even with the Weaver being the pick that maybe you don't like so much, Sebastian, even if it goes safe lane and gets an early farm, can you like not adjust your build that you might not even want to go Lincolns?
Yeah, you could actually go for something really different and it could work. The thing is that the Weaver is not going to decide that game. It's all going to come down to the puck, initiation power, the burst damage. Weaver is going to win if the team wins, and it's going to do okay. If the team actually fails, then Weaver is going to lose. We see the DK ban, really smart from NewBee. I wonder what Vici wants to get right now. I don't think that Prophet is a good option. Oh, it's banned actually, never mind. I'm not sure what they want to get right now, because the Viper's out, the Razor's out, basically 5 super heroes banned.
And like Alchemist was picked up, that's something that super often plays too, so...
And the Brewmaster, so it's like 7 heroes that are banned or denied from super, so I really wonder what Vici wants to go for. And it's an Ember Spirit.
I feel like they just ran out of options. It's not, I don't think it's I don't look at this and say, oh, it's a great pick, but it's and what would be better?
Especially versus Puck, he's going to have a tough time versus Puck.
Yeah, probably doesn't synergize as well, but one of the remaining heroes that can fight pretty good, but certainly the silence from Puck is the bane of an Ember Spirit in this match.
The only thing about Vici Gaming that they have to be worried about is that none of these heroes are particularly tanky, as we said before. Ember Spirit, he can tank a lot once he has the Flame Guard up, but without that, he's not going to go for any survivability items, unless it's the Fnatic Vanguard Ember Spirit, but that doesn't really work well.
And there's a lot of like minus army. You've got Weaver, Alchemist. These heroes are going to become very squishy. The Vici Gaming's lineup to me has like zero room for error. Like they've got to get that first tower fairly early, dominate the lane stage, get that first tower. As soon as they like lose a fight or two, it's just going to snowball out of control, because NewBee have a much more well-rounded lineup mid to late game.
I would love to see a Centaur pick for NewBee here. They need something to really jump on Vici's Gaming lineup and just burst them down, you know, fight into the heart of their pushing style, because if they struggle with the initiation, it's going to be really tough. Like going into all the summons, the Venom wards, the Ember just poking people, it's going to be really tough. So I mean, they need more initiation.
Plague wards are 10% slow, right? So that's kind of big. And the also Vortex, Alchemist, even if it's, you know, as we assume, probably a support, you still want to get your Alchemist hitting somebody. So of course you've got your coil, but then if that doesn't land in a big way because of how spaced out they are, the center could well, but be a banana, and he plays in his jungle, or sometimes the enemy jungle. He does a great job, and someone's happy Puck has turned up this evening.
Yeah, his Chen the other day was pretty spot on. He used that on the first day of the grand stage of the finals. He did amazingly well with it. Let's see if he can create a lot of space for this team as well this time.
So that's a Chen pick after an AA, which is a bit surprising. Usually you want to go for the A versus the Chen. Looks like that they have a plan and they want to be aggressive or win the lanes. As we said, getting a jungler versus Vici is something you really want to do.
Well, we'll find out what their plan is with the Chen as we're going to go in to the next game in this series. It's game 3, and our commentators will take us into the match.
Thank you very much. Welcome back. Game number 3, Vici Gaming going up against NewBee. Who gets to push that advantage up? One game is all they want to go in and then see, hey, game number 4, 1 victory, and we have won ourselves over $5 million. That's how close they are, Lumi.
I think Vici Gaming is going to be the team that's pressing for the advantage. They are building a siege lineup. This is not your ricing. This is a paleo diet draft, if I call it. No rice, just push for towers. And you know, when you have a draft like this, the early 5-10 minutes is the most important time. So look towards FY, look towards Fenrir to make those ganks and rotations.
And they're going to need to as well. When you're running a Chen, it's almost crazy that NewBee would still pick up a Chen. Knowing you've got Ancient Apparition on the lineup here for Vici Gaming, the second you see that hero, you know it's a free ticket to walk through the enemy jungle. Chilling Touch will always give you the bonus advantage. Not to mention you have rOtK and FY, 2 great heroes with the Venomancer as well as the Rubick for early level 1 fights. So they're going to be controlling up the entire jungle here of NewBee. And I wouldn't be surprised if they even just leave the aggro tri lane down there. Very, very smart though from NewBee. They left 1 observer ward just sitting up here on the hill, so they know where Vici Gaming are moving, so they'll know the lanes before Vici Gaming actually display them properly in the lanes. But it's pretty obvious what they're going to do. rOtK, actually they're not. They're actually switching it. They're putting Super in the middle lane, and they're going to run rOtK up on the top lane after they've already warded out at least 2 of the camps from Chen inside of his own jungle.
Yeah, if you look over at Sylar, he's got that boot to speed, and that should be a giveaway in terms of how the laning stage goes. Sylar now on the off lane. And like you said, rOtK on the top. And looks like I do believe both the wards were scouted out by NewBee. They definitely scouted out this particular one, immediately D-ward here by Sansheng.
Yep.
I don't think they scouted out the bottom one though, but they don't really care about the jungle being blocked off because HλLF really not going to pull for himself. And the supports, well, it's going to annoy Banana a little bit, I say.
Yeah, it's basically taking away a lot of the stuff, and the illusion rune is also not helping out. The fact that Rubick was able to get that, so he's able to block up an extra camp here at the 30-second mark. Unfortunately, actually, no, the illusion will survive until the 1 minute mark.
The entire jungle for Banana is blocked off. It's not just a little bit of noise. Where is he going to get his first creep?
He has one centaur. He has one centaur, which is next to the rune area.
A lucky spawn. It could have been like a mud golem, and he's done in the early stage of game at the very least.
One thing, though, I'm not really feeling coming out from the VG Gaming lineup is control. And it's control going up against a Weaver. This is a guy where if he gets like an okay start, you're good to go, because there's no stuns. There's what, telekinesis, and you need Orchid, and then there's nothing left. Yeah, if he gets a Lincoln Sphere, he's good to go.
I mean, I agree with you. I think if they really value that Orchid, for example, they would have Sylar on the safe lane. That's where he generally farms it. So it's really up to FY to get that telekinesis lift. He's going to need the assistance of a Blink Dagger, for example. We have to keep in mind that Super, I mean, if he's good with that Sleight of Fist and Searing Chain combo, he can initiate from afar. Especially that Chain is actually really good against Puck. When you're Searing Chain, you cannot phase shift, so that will allow Vici to combo into other follow-up initiation and whatnot. But a lot of work on the shoulder of Super as well as FY.
Interesting to see rOtK's build as well. We've got 1 point up in Poison in the Venomous Scale, and 1 point up in the Poison Sting. So with 1 point neither of these, we're not looking at any massive wall of wards. And what you get is...
Not yet.
It's slow up against a hero who has Shukuchi. So it doesn't really have that much of effect. If it's Sansheng, it's fantastic, because the base movement speed of 335, well, it's not base because he's got boots on him, but if you can slow him down, then you get a lot of potential for an easy kill, an easy first blood. And then extra money, you get a mech up early, and that means tier 1 towers go down the top lane. But you still need to have those high level of wards, which NewBee can't repel, or he comes down to defend when the Chen is ready to push out.
I think on paper, the Gale isn't really good against Sikuchi because, obviously he moves at maximum movement speed. But you got to keep in mind that the early levels of Sikuchi, has a fairly long cooldown. It doesn't last nearly as long. So if you could catch out how, after he has to use Sikuchi with the Gale on top, chances are he is going to die. But how, he knows about this.
Bottom lane, this could be the death of Sylar right now. Sansheng with the end of the Invis rune starts off with the shackles. Follow-up concoction. He's got Acid Spray leveled up as well, but didn't actually get it off in time, but it doesn't matter. Sylar, the whole job is too high range. He tried to sprout himself up and then TP out, but it's not possible, and NewBee will claim first blood here on the bottom lane. This is not what VG Gaming needed to have happen if they were going to get any kind of early momentum. And they're going to go for top lane too. How? Sikuchi, Sentry Ward, they got him.
Gale.
Lift him up. Where is this Gale? It will connect, and they got him slowed down. Prophet, Sylar will TP in. Instant rebuttal kill coming out from VG Gaming.
That's why you get the Gale. Sikuchi at the early game, once you disrupt it, he is straight up dead. Great rotation here coming out from the Vici supports. And let's see if they can actually strike.
Oh, Super, middle lane move. He got the Searing Chain spaceship out. Where's your attack? One
more
more.
hit.
Super, he's gonna die. Overcommittal there by Super. He needed one more attack to kill off Mu, but Banana was coming in. He was there for mana burn as well, having that little set of Mind Stealer on the sidelines. And that's actually following the Ember all the way up the lane.
That rotation from Banana to secure the kill was absolutely huge. Anytime that you get a single kill advantage on the mid lane and get a huge swing in experience, that's absolutely huge, and winning the lane continuously throughout much of the mid and later stage of the game. But for now, it looks like we're going to have a little bit of trouble up top here as NewBee sustaining a little bit of push.
Hilarious thing is, a third level Acid Spray stops the push in its tracks.
Yeah.
Everyone is backed up. They know the Tree Army can't stand alive in that one. And the Plague Wards are at least nice. You can set them up, but they're not high enough level yet. They're still only level 2 Plague Wards and easily dealt with by HλLF. So he can hold this top lane pretty much by himself. While on bottom lane, Hal, again, he's searching for another pickoff. Sylar is down here. He can afford phase boost, but doesn't have them, so he's got no extra movement speed. He'll need TP support if he's going to survive this. Sansheng's on the front lines. He doesn't have a point up in Hex, but he's got it in Shackle, and Hal, well, he's underneath the tower. Very visible, obviously, doing this. And Sylar will just back himself out.
Yeah, they needed Sansheng to be there, and tower is actually doing a lot more damage to Hal than what he actually did to the Prophet. But there you go, back in the mid lane here. Looks like we're going to see yet another go. Mu is locked up a little bit, but he'll orb back out.
This is just harassment off the lane.
Yeah, despite the death, actually Super is able to kind of bully Mu around a little bit, but obviously Mu is enjoying quite a bit of goal lead here.
Nice wall being placed down by Mu too. It's looking over the river, so we can see what's on the high ground, especially looking for someone like FY. Because if FY comes in and is able to get a follow-up telekinesis after the initial searing chains, that may just be enough time for Super to finish the job.
Yeah, Vici right now is playing a fairly defensive game, but they gotta be worried because NewBee is up 1,000 gold, really without any tower advantage, and that's really coming down to the better farming of the supports, and the kills are happening their way. So I think what both team, again, I've said it at the end of the last game, is all about the rotation, all about the early game. The support that does better for the team will win the game. We'll see if the support rotation is going to come through. Looks like going to smoke on the mid lane.
Yeah, they're going to loop themselves around. They've actually got to go all the way around, up through basically up through this little region here.
But Super's about to hit level 6. Once he does, he could have a fire remnant.
They've gone opposite direction. They're going all the way up to top lane. So they're going to look for Fenrir or for rOtK.
It could be even a double kill. Both of these heroes are quite squishy. They don't have a good escape mechanism. Here we go. It's going to be a flank on the side, and Fenrir, well, he's going to get hit by a truck.
rOtK is taking a lot of damage here inside the acid spray, and he knows he can't help out Fenrir here. Maybe he can look for he can't even denial. Gale will fly out, but Chen's already got the kill. Ancient Apparition, Sylar going to TP in, but rOtK, it's a lot of damage, and now rOtK, he's alive on 26 life points, and Banana's actually going to be the sacrificial lamb. Super came in, no side of fits, he's going to actually follow up, and well, there's your chain. Sansheng will just burn from the immolation of Super, and he wants to go further. Remember, this is a DD over on Super, but Mu has now arrived in the fight. Dream Call over on him, holding Super in position. There's nothing he's got left. He'll go down on this top lane, and maybe is there collateral? rOtK is backing himself up. Oh, how? HλLF-LIFE preps the stun, running into the tower. rOtK juking in the tree line. They got the vision, so he'll die in the tree line. How? Not enough mana actually to go for a time lapse, but there's no one alive for Vici Gaming to punish him.
Over-aggression here by Vici. They had an Observer Ward. In fact, both teams have Observer on the mid lane, so you should have seen the rotation from the puck, and once that coil came down, the Ember Spirit was dead. Yep. rOtK overstayed his welcome, like you said, and died as a result as well. Again, Vici is playing some sort of, what a play. Well,
that's actually going to have huge rebuttal right now, because Sylar and Sansheng was ready to gank over on Sylar. That TP was meant to bring him down to the bottom lane. And ended up getting cancelled, so no kill, and Sansheng has to walk himself back out again.
Yeah, whenever you're losing kill and you're playing some sort of pushing or kind of just playing a strategy revolving around sieging towers for a long time, level is going to be key. In fact, playing a lot of strategy, level is going to be the key, but you can't really give away all these kills. Once mech comes up, for example, for NewBee, that's where your push gets much, much harder, as well as Chen's level 6. And Seb earlier talked about the interaction between Ice Blast and Chen. I feel like NewBee's going to have a fairly easier time dodging these Ice Blasts, considering the fact that it's mostly Vici that's going to be sieging.
Smoke's broken. Plague Wall right around the corner. It's going to slow Chen down a little bit, but not enough. So they'll just pick up the Satyr instead. So a foul smoke gate coming out from FY and rOtK. Well, how? Shikuchi's rather close to him, but they're backing up. There's 3 heroes in the bottom lane, and Super is also rotating down. He sees a regeneration rune, which Mu's going to go for. There's no Sleight of Fist, so Super, Hal's right on top of him. Dream Cold's going to be committed. He's got one spirit, so he jumps away and in. Back towards his own tower, while the bottom lane, TP support's coming in. That's the Alchemist, the front lines. Look for the stun. Actually, he started with the unstable concoction, so he hits on a very hard ad sprays there. Pick up a Sansheng, dragging him back in as she's stunning over towards HλLF-LIFE with the shackles though. Hold on Sylar, the bugs are on him. He gets one last ultimate off, trying to help out his teammate rOtK. How will dive under the tier 1 tower to get the kill. And Sansheng safely TP's out. NewBee, a 2-0.
This is a very bad sign for Vici Gaming. Normally when rOtK has a successful game on Venomancer, he's on that top lane to level 8 or 9. You want to have a lot of spells max, you want to be high level, and more importantly, you need those core items. You need a mech, you ideally want an Aghanim Scepters, as you're pushing multiple towers. So far he's got nothing, and he really doesn't add much to his team as an underfarmed Venomancer. Ice Blast looks like he's going to fly to the bottom lane, but won't really hit too much of anything. Yeah,
they're trying to keep him out, and if possible, they would have gone for a Sleight of Fist searing chains. But not going to happen. Mu as well as Sansheng forcing out middle lane, so Mu gets a little bit of a chill, but Sansheng already level 6, commits the Plague Wall, the Mass Open Wards towards that tier 1 tower, and Super knows he can't come in close on this, not without help. But they're looking for a trade-off, which is going to be stopped by HλLF-LIFE, comes towards the top lane with the Acid Spray, the Plague Walls from rOtK. They're going to maybe try and keep this push going. Super, Nam, these Mass Open Wards are trying to be farmed up by Fenrir, but it's taking too much. Super's bottling up. He's still got Sleight of Fist available, and now he's going to jump through just a little bit of one of the creeps, so the Centaur goes down, but the mid-tier 1 tower is forfeit of Vici Gaming.
NewBees are taking what Vici's good at and sending it right back at them. You know, every tower right now, NewBee is defended and defended well. And NewBee is, you know, pushing for towers. And once that Master Ball comes off cooldown again, it will not surprise me at all.
Oh, they're going again on bottom lane. Hal being picked up by FY, throwing back. He doesn't have level 6, so he can't steal the Shikuchi. And you're right, with the bugs at the back of him, well, Ember Spirit. Almost a bit of an intimidation factor there. If he wanted his Rubick, he'd have to go through the Ember.
You know, I'm looking at the mid game for Vici Gaming. Should they not, let's suppose that they don't get like 5-6 towers in the next 5-10 minutes, and I don't think they can.
Okay.
What is their mid game plan? You have a very underfarmed Ember Spirit because, you know, he's only 2-2, he hasn't hit too many creep kills. And then you have Sylar, he's played on the offlane, so he won't have an Orchid anytime soon. They really can't gank that well. They can't really play a farming game because I don't think they could defend their towers against the push of NewBee. It feels like there is no option B for Vici if they don't start knocking down some towers.
I will agree with you on that one. It's one of these things where Vici Gaming, they're running against the clock. They went for a high-risk, high-reward strategy. And because of that, they need to be able to actually claim things with their lineup, which is why you see again Sylar and rOtK try and force out this top tier 1 tower. Fortification still available here for NewBee, so they could actually stop it. Vici Gaming do not have fortification, so Hao can just force out the tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. And again, Xiaowei, that spray's on cooldown, but he's still just one man is enough to force back a pushing power from Vici Gaming.
Yeah, and that one man's level 9, by the way. And if you look at the level disparity, again, it is so huge between the two teams. NewBee right now enjoying a lot of a big lead. I think this tower might actually get denied up top. Ooh. Tier 1, meanwhile on the bottom gets destroyed.
FY attempted a denial on that one. The Plague Walls have to be timed right now from rOtK.
Gotta be careful of the backstab though. Here comes a couple of TP. Tower's gonna get lasted. A great play here from Sylar, but he's gonna pay for this life silence. Orb, that's 1 kill. But here comes the backstab support. Super, he's looking for the chain. Ice blast already prepped up. What a combo. Xiaowei's dead.
Yep.
Are they gonna make it out alive there?
He never even got the sun off. Mu has to use his Dream Coil to hold Fenrir in position, but now a wonderful phase shift evades the damage of Super, and Hal returns to the fight, puts the bugs on Fenrir, which means he's going to pick up the support hero, while Super, another Searing Chain, he'll TP himself out. There's no stuns available, so he's away to safety Super with phase whiz picked up. But Vici Gaming, they keep having bad trades. Tier 2 towers lost in the bottom lane because, again, Shadowed Shaman and these mass serpent wards from Sansheng bring down the Tier 2 tower. Vici Gaming are losing out on every single decision they're making across the map right now.
Yeah, and that decision is going to really snowball. Look over how he's got Hand of Midas flying out on the courier to him. Normally, as a Weaver, you should be afraid of the single target initiation like a Telekinesis or maybe a eventual Orchid coming out from Sylar. He is confident that he could get to that linkage and it could make a pick stop with the Midas. That Midas is going to really shoot him to level 16 very quickly. Add to his gold intake.
Be very, very careful with what you're doing right now. He actually phase shifts out and blinks himself back towards his tier 1 tower.
And has a regen rune.
Has a regen rune.
NewBee's playing confident. It would not surprise me if they take a 2-1 lead after this particular game because everything is completely under their control. It doesn't seem like NewBee has the initiation power or the late game power to really tackle NewBee. So what is the game plan, Mr. rOtK?
It's a question which I don't think he'll answer, not until after the game at least. But they're going to answer actually during the game. Sansheng's almost got his own Blink Dagger. You talk about initiation. This Shadowed Shaman's going to cause so many problems for Vici Gaming. Hao is staring down rOtK now. FY is also here. But just a quick time lapse out by Hao. He's just trying to cause some chip damage onto rOtK. Force him back. rOtK still hasn't managed to finish up this full mech.
Okay, this is how they're
net worth is pathetic right now in comparison to others.
Vici Gaming is thinking about stealing Roche. Fenrir just picked up, yeah, they just picked up a Medallion of Courage. This is not an item you normally buy.
They're coming for kills, man. They found Super. Sansheng, Searing chained up. Mu will blink up, but it's not going to happen in the Ice Blast. And she's going to connect on Mu as well as Banana while Sansheng being picked up, thrown back. He is chilled up. The Shackles is nice, but Ember Spirit coming in hard, and that's going to be Super picking himself up a double kill, but Xiaowei also not going to get the same as Mu, the Puck, who got the kill, but Sylar gets a double sprout with the Searing Chain trying to control him there. There's a jump away by Mu. He'll actually orb himself and join himself in. Sylar needs to hit up the hill right now. Bottle charges, he misses up the hill into the trees, and he's actually away, blinks over. And she gets the kill. Mu with a triple kill, looking for an ultra. Super needs to grab the spirit. There's your attack, Super. Not enough damage. 19 life points. One charge is TP out. Where is it? Blank the attack from Chen. Just had a blast through the tree line.
Another unsuccessful team fights where NewBee came out so ahead, and I think the key items are starting to get out of control. Once Xiao 8 finishes that mech, how do you win another team fight against NewBee? And that was a fight that Hao didn't even join. He's one of those carries, again, joins all the fights. He just farmed away. It essentially was like a 3v4, and NewBee still came out ahead.
And that was brilliant, the fact that NewBee was able to survive that long. And the puck, like picking up that many kills, it's allowed Mu to afford up a full Yule Scepter 15 minutes into the game, on top of his Blink treads as well as Bottle.
Great way to get out of trouble, man.
Yep.
And the mono regen is actually a big part in terms of extending your farm in the mid game. It looks like we're going to see Vici trying to steal that Roshan.
Yeah, but look at the Centaur coming in from Chen. It's going to reveal the entire thing right now, so they realize what's going on.
They could only take it as a surprise because NewBee's got the superior initiation.
Why? Don't come out that far! He's coming down for the heat stroke.
Oh, he's got it.
He'll be able to swipe it out at least. But he was very, very close to HλLF-LIFE. He could have prepped a concoction if he wanted to.
Yeah, meanwhile, as you know, NewBee's delaying this Roshan top lane, it's going to be Weaver taking tier 1. It looks like he's going to start pressuring mid and joining that Roshan fight should he needs to be there.
Very smart there from FY. A tornado was started up by the Wild Wing, so he just came in and telekinesed it out. Vici Gaming have started this, they've got to finish this.
I feel like as they get it low, that's where Puck's going to join in.
HλLF-LIFE's going to come in too. As Spray can just cover over the entire Vici Gaming line, but look where he puts it. It's in the river and not on top of Roshan. He doesn't want to help Vici Gaming finish Roshan. All he wants to do is make sure if they find outside, oh, rOtK! They used the smoke, but he was in vision. He came down the river, and he was in vision of NewBee, and now FY, Sentry Ward, he's too far away from Hao, and in comes Concoction. Maybe HλLF-LIFE throws it over, he's looking at Fenrir, taking away this Ice Blast. Now he's Sleight of Fist, couldn't get the proper Searing Chain over to HλLF-LIFE, so there's no extra control.
Meanwhile, rOtK is still smoked up. He's looking for a backstab. Meanwhile, these Treants are constantly scouting Roche. I can't tell who's actually going to get this Roche. Again, Blink Dagger initiation coming out. rOtK is going to get caught.
Nah, he's getting blocked up by his own Treants, which are coming out from his teammate. And they're just completely scouting out all of what NewBee is doing too. This Roshan is almost something which Vici Gaming, oh wow, they commit mass Serpent Wards. It actually takes the choke point, and what a blink hit by Mu! The double silence orb as well. The A-ult is going to cause a lot of troubles for Hao, but he's able to time-lapse out the damage. He's okay. Double buyback coming from Vici Gaming. Nice mass Serpent Ward steal coming out from the Rubick, but NewBee trying to pull it out. Roshan killed by the Radiant, picked up by the Weaver. It's a disaster for Vici Gaming right now. GG. And GG, they know it. Roshan was the last roll of the dice of Vici Gaming, and NewBee will take a one-game advantage here in the best-of-5 grand final, and they are one victory away from taking first place here in the International 4.
That wasn't a quick GG at all. Vici Gaming lost every single lane. That was the last gambit. They even bought a Medallion Courage on the Ancient Apparition to go for it. Missed the play, and that was the game.
Yep, but they knew the risk they were taking. You make a draft like that, it had to pay off, and it didn't.
It didn't.
It really, really didn't.